who doesn't know anything, that it's a very baby and very little, something like that.
Athena is the Greek goddess of wisdom and war. Okay? जैसे कि how we have Saraswati Mata, right? But why we call this platform Athena? Because we are learning English, right? Simple answer: English is a global language, and Athena platform over here takes your learners from a level to another level, right? And we've structured it in such a way that we take them from, if I can write it here, we take them from level A1 to level A2. A1 and A2.
Anybody has heard A1, A2? Anybody has heard CFR?
CFR, the Common European Framework of Reference for Language. Okay, so the CFR has levels A1 to C2. So Athena is actually mapped to the global industrial standards of English, for English, and this in turn is mapped to the CEFR levels. So we follow the same guidelines. Okay, taking them from A1 to C2. You can check it out on Google for your reference, but just to give you an idea of where we get them, you need to have it measured, right? You need to know that your learners have come from this level to another level. So how do you measure that? So A2 is someone is comfortable to English, whereas A1 level is someone who is familiar with simple sentences of English, can understand the language, futa English, yes, broken English. They are able to understand if it is spoken very slowly, right? Okay, so that is the typical prerequisite of our learners, what the learners should have. Okay, so let's just look at the learners' prerequisites. Someone who recognizes the 26 letters of the English alphabet. Okay, तो जैसे कि आप बता रहे थे कि आपके कुछ learners हैं जिनको they don't know the alphabet, they cannot be put through. They will not learn. Alright, we have to keep in mind that we have to do it fast. Okay? Second thing is someone who reads some amount of English, as I said, and who comprehends simple sentences in English. Simple sentences like, how are you? As you were saying, sir.
Iqbal.
Yeah. As you were saying that you teach them conversational sentences, right? How are you? Could you please give me this bottle of water? That might be a little long. May I come in? Please. Thank you. These are certain phrases that they understand. Yes? They know that. It's not like they have to still think of what does this word mean? What does please mean? Right? They understand the context in which it is used. Right? Yes? Okay. Someone who's familiar with broken English, obviously, if they know phrases, then they will be able to say. Broken English in the sense, I come.
Yes.
Right? I'm hungry. These are certain, they are not grammatically correct, but you can understand what they are trying to say. Right? Then, someone who speaks and writes English. There's a lot of grammatical errors. Yes? I think majority will be like that. Yes? So now how do we get them all on the same page? Everyone will have different capabilities, right? But how do we get them all to the same page? That is why we have this tool. This tool, at the end of the tool, everyone has to be at the same page. We aim at that. Okay? Alright. So if we look how it is structured, we have 5 different certifications, right? 5 certifications, as you can see. As is, that is, learners who are at a level of A1 or below are capable for Athena. Okay, so we have an assessment that you all will also be going through, and you will know where to understand where your learners are, as is. This is their starting point. From here they start with beginner's level, the beginner's certification. In the beginner's certification, as you watched Chakde, pehle video mein they tell you the importance of English. Why should we learn English, right? And we have movies that are very simple, something that they would have watched, right? And at the beginner's level, if you look at the dialogues that are being spoken, they all are simple dialogues, easy to understand. English is also very easy to understand. Yes, Nitish? Then slowly from the beginner's level, from the beginner's certification, we move to the elementary certification. Okay. So we start off with beginners, slowly moving to elementary. From elementary we go to pre-intermediate, pre-intermediate to intermediate, and intermediate to higher intermediate. At the end of higher intermediate, your learners should be at a level of A2. Should be able to understand simple sentences, should be able to communicate in English. Here our focus is not to teach English, our focus is to teach how to communicate in English. There's a difference. Okay? So, what happens to those learners that do not come under the bracket? The ones who are below A1 and the ones who are above A2. For them, we have a different course altogether. Okay? So, that is still being built and we'll soon have them on the platform. But
So the level below this certification, this entire this is a
stage environment.
This is a
Platform.
So all these certifications make a, I forget the term, but it particular stage. No, levels इसके अंदर है सर. इसके अंदर लेवल्स हैं. आपको जो चकदे दिख रहा है वो लेवल है. ये सर्टिफिकेशन है और ये पूरा एक. उसके बाद और एक स्टेज है. उसके नीचे और एक स्टेज है. Right? So for the people below, we are building the course. 30%.
Not ignore them.
Yeah, we cannot ignore them. So we are building a course which will allow them to go from alphabet to some
A1.
to the English. Yeah. बस उसके बाद ये पकड़ लेगा. उसके ऊपर जो है, they are by then or by now suitable to pick up English on their own. So उनके लिए बहुत सारे courses हैं. This platform per se is not required.
Yes.
There are many courses for those kind of people, right? For them also we are trying to
Make some
build a platform. Both are in progress. The C level in the CFR norms is a person who can communicate very well in English, but उसके लिए जो courses होते हैं वो largely corporate में वो हम run करते हैं. हमारे पास कोई उसके लिए ई प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं है और हमारा हमको बनाना भी नहीं है. Because they are more on communication, presentation skills, how to
Give a presentation or a
how
seminar
to
or handle some kind of corporate training.
Absolutely, it's more into a corporate world.
Right.
The C level, we do those trainings. We are into those trainings, but there is no platform for it. So platform is only for the level below, this level, and probably the next.
See, this course is structured for regional English, R2E. If you have seen in the previous slide, it says R2E, regional to English. Alright, so any doubts over here? We saw certain levels, right? Beginners, हम लोगों ने देखा कि कुछ levels है उसके अंदर, right? Okay. So let's just keep in mind the outcomes and objectives of each certification. They have to be measured. We have to take our learners from one level to the other. So keep that in mind. And these are the outcomes of certification. I'll give you all 2 minutes to just go through this slide.
Currently, जब भी आप पढ़ाते हो, तो measure करते हो कि ये पढ़ लिया इसने या नहीं पढ़ लिया. How do you measure that person? Yes, sir. How do you measure that person?
Say maximum certain baby measure.
No, my question is today in your classroom, do you measure the person before when he came in DDU center? Then you did some intervention, which is the teaching which किया. उसके बाद वो यहाँ पे पहुँचा है, यहाँ पे पहुँचा है या यहाँ पे पहुँचा है, उसको measure करते हो आप? Currently measure करते हो?
Yeah.
How do you measure it?
If you start interaction with the person, then you'll come to know whether like at the say like 7 days before he was not able to read up like 3 lines even, and after if he start reading at least 3 lines, then he is in a better.
कुछ आपके दिमाग में पैरामीटर मतलब लाइन कितने सेंटेंसेस बोल पा रहा है, कितने वर्ड्स बोल पा रहा है, इसका कोई ऑब्जेक्टिवली मेजरमेंट होता है आपका? कैसे करते हैं आप? टेस्ट लेके कैसे लेते हैं टेस्ट? लिखित में?
I took one test.
टेस्ट रीड राइट स्पीक लिसन में होता है, चारों में होता है रीड राइट स्पीक. So that is something similar which we will follow and try and figure out that all these objectives are met in that certification.
टॉपिक
हाँ.
कोई भी any topic
नहीं, यहाँ पे रीड राइट स्पीक लिसन टूल में ही हो रहा है. उसके बाद एक सेपरेट असेसमेंट आएगा जो ये चेक करेगा उसको.
Towards the end of today's session, so you can go through it.
ठीक है. आपको एक बात बताऊं, आपको ये लिखने का कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. आपको एक गूगल ड्राइव में एक्सेस दिया जाएगा, आपके ईमेल आईडीज हैं, दिया जाएगा, सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स आएंगे, ट्रेनर खुद मतलब उधर होगा, आपको कुछ लिखने का ज़रूरत नहीं है. ठीक है. बट फिर भी आप लिखना चाहते हो, कुछ नोट्स वोट्स लेना चाहते हो तो प्लीज़ फील फ्री. ओके, नेक्स्ट.
No. So each of the certifications, as he mentioned, are gated. Okay. तो complete करने के बाद ही you can go to the next level. एक certification complete करने के बाद ही you can go to the next certification. So each one is controlled. This is how we measure the learners. If they do not pass that, then they have to do the course again. Right?
अभी आपके लॉगिन्स में सारा कुछ ओपन है, आपको सारे एक्सेस हैं.
Correct.
बिकॉज क्वालिटी एनवायरनमेंट है कर रहे हैं, तो सो इन प्रोडक्शन एनवायरनमेंट में आपको आईडी दिया जाएगा. फिर से वहाँ पहले बिगिनर खुलेगा, बिगिनर में भी जो लेवल है वो खुलेगा.
So now each certification has different levels. जैसे कि आपने देखा, and we are now targeting familiar to unfamiliar. We these over here, right? India connects with Bollywood. India connects with movie person, right? Yes. एक बच्चा भी नहीं होगा जो मूवी नहीं देखता, right? सबको पसंद है. And so that's why we have different levels. As per every certification, we have different levels. Did you notice कि कितने levels हैं एक certification में? Beginners are 16. 16. You can check. Go back to your systems and check how many levels are. 12. Very good. Yes. So each certification has 12 levels. Out of these 12 levels, 10 are based. As you can count the number of movies over here. इनमें से किन को आपने देखा है? All. Very good. Almost all. आपने देखा है? क्या मूवी आशा है is a song. आशा है इकबाल मूवी की song है. आशा है. So as you can see, every certification has different levels. Can you count the number?